We are under direction from the Kabaka to ensure that we develop sports across the board, because sports aren't simply for the enjoyment you receive on the pitch, but the benefits are immense, as some of which have been highlighted by the Minister in charge of sports. Offers employment, builds the body and soul of the participants, bridges, gaps and strengthens unity, raises lots of funds for the sports personalities, for the country through tax revenue, and generally sports builds nations. Sports build nations. So to that end, the Kabaka's cabinet turns to turn the Masaza clubs into sports clubs starting in 2026 to ensure that we develop the tournament fully with the Masaza clubs teams turning into clubs. And under the sports development framework, we are focused on developing sports disciplines besides football. We want Masaza netball. The girls are itching to show us what they are capable of. We want Masaza athletics. We want Masaza cycling, and many others. We also intend to focus on traditional sports disciplines like wrestling. It's very, it's as old as the kingdom itself, like Umweso. And we've started on this, and you'll see more of them this sports calendar year. The sports development framework is also focused on developing multi-purpose county sports arenas. And 9 counties have already secured land for these sports arenas. You cannot develop sports unless you have the arenas, the sports complexes. As we participate in this year's Masaza tournament, let us all be mindful of the HIV/AIDS scourge, which still destroys lives. During this year's tournament, let's be at the forefront of fighting against new infections, and let the tournament remind those who are HIV positive to follow guidelines issued by healthcare givers. The men, we say this many times, but I think it's very important. Largely speaking, it's the men who initiate these activities that lead to the contracting of HIV/AIDS. Although we are aware that, in the 21st century, women are liberated and they can approach men. They do approach men. Some of them quite directly, actually. Some of them indirectly. But I think us, the men, do this more than the women. And we must be mindful of protecting the girl child if we are going to banish HIV/AIDS out of Uganda by 2030. Let the enjoyment we get at the tournaments remind us of the need for good health. Because you cannot watch Budu take the cup a second time this year. If you are ill, if you're dead, that's what Budu intends to do, I know that. But then those who will enjoy the tournament, those who will enjoy holding the cup, hosting the cup, must be healthy. I appreciate all our partners. I mentioned them in Uganda. I'm sure everyone followed because they know what I was talking about. Airtel Uganda is the platinum sponsor, Centenary Bank, Uganda Youth Commission, Plascon, and the others. And we look forward to receiving the statistics from the Uganda Youth Commission about how impactful these initiatives from the kingdom have been, and generally across the country, because you can't deal with what you cannot measure or you cannot interpret. So the statistics will be very, very helpful. But I thank the chairperson of the Uganda Youth Commission for being here and with members of her team. You had the CEO of Airtel asking for a clan to which he should belong. In Buganda, everyone belongs to a clan. You know, your predecessor belonged to my clan. Now you're going to belong to the clan of the Minister for Sports. You're a member of the Ngali clan. The Ngali is the crested crane. And from today forward, your other name is Ziwa. Nyingiza soma senkulu wa Airtel mchika cha Ngali kubanga mujja kulooza nti nfuuse mulungi omu ono bwe namuteeka mu mutima ng'ate ne munne gwe yaddira migere yali wa mutima n'olwekyo wa Ngali erinnya lye ye Ziwa okuva ne leero.